Bum, 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 bum. Hello, everybody. It's me, the Discourse, Paul's Ego, here to host an argument with TJ. I don't know, man. I can't get super hopped up because my parents are in the fucking house and I don't want them to think I'm totally crazy. I think they think I'm insane now. After today, they probably think I'm a little insane, and they're right. They're right. They're correct. By the way, watch this. This is cool. Dun, 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 dun. I'm a wizard. You're a wizard, Polly. Shh. I can't imagine this will be anything but productive. Well, I mean, I can imagine it being not productive, and I can imagine it being productive. I don't know what it's going to be. But TJ, he'll come when he can come. We await the arrival of the amazing atheist himself into the fray himself. The man of many names, the myth, the legend, Taroja Kirk, a.k.a. T.J. Kirk, a.k.a. Thomas James Kirk III, a.k.a. Segmento, a.k.a. the Gurgi Slayer, a.k.a. Page Boy TJ. Hello, Jenna. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm going to be talking to TJ tonight, for those of you that don't know, about something that we have a disagreement about. I'm going to try and appeal to some level of empathy in TJ, possibly, maybe. If for nobody, then for me, because, we'll hear about it. I don't want to get out ahead, and I don't want to litigate it here before he gets a chance to be here to counteract. No, it is a meme as far as they know. Some dude, they are not related to Charlie Kirk at all. That is a meme that has existed for a while that will probably not be a meme anymore. I always used to make fun of them for having like a retarded brother that they hid or a crazy cousin that they don't want to claim. And I kind of feel like, maybe not appropriate to do that. Yeah, we're going to have some discourse. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I am the discourse. I'm going to prove it again to you guys tonight. The discourse tonight is, what kind of joke is too far? Is there such a thing as a joke that's too far? Is there such a thing that as like an inadvisable joke in a time of national violence? Is that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's the discourse right now, right? It's not really about Charlie Kirk. It's about how do we react as people that are on the other side of the political aisle from Charlie Kirk, and how far is too far among friends? That too. That's the discourse. What do you guys think? Is that pussy enough for? That's definitely pussy enough to be discourse. Ask TJ if this will trigger World War III. Okay. I'll ask him. Chilling in the studio, $85 an hour. Hurry up and loop a beak, Mike. Come on. I'm Violent J, but my homies call me Shithead. But that's my homies. To you, I'm Violent J, bitch. Yeah, those fighting boys. Will this be the start of a rift? All you can do is wait with bated breath for TJ to show his face and to face the music. Oh, yeah, the music. You gonna face it tonight, boy. TJ gonna face that music, boy. I love TJ too. And I mean that. I don't just mean like, oh, I've been watching TJ. Like, I know TJ IRL. I love him. He's like family to me. You know what I mean? TJ's TJ. I can't be mad at him. I'm not really. I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can be mad at him, but I can't stay mad at him for very long. What did TJ say? Stay tuned and you'll find out. We're gonna go over the whole fucking thing. TJ did just pop into the fucking chat, say he was coming in. But TJ, he's taking his sweet time letting me warm up the crowd and get you guys cooking first. And then we're going to have the discourse. Okay. I think I'm just going to start it. I was thinking about this too. Maybe oh no, here's TJ. He's here. He'll be here momentarily. He's getting the setup ready. And then we're just going to move straight to the discourse.
Discourse.
Welcome, TJ, to the pilot episode of my new show, The Discourse with Paul's Ego.
I like it.
The discourse tonight is, of course, I will bring you up to speed. Is there a limit to humor? Is there a time when a joke goes too far?
No.
Well, I know what you think. That's the discourse.
Yeah, that's true. Just discourse time.
So I guess the question I would have for you now that and by the way,
I'm sorry my shit's so choppy. I don't know what's up with that, but
I don't know. Yeah, it's been that way on the show, but whatever. It's probably just
because I think it's because I'm doing a wireless thing to my phone and whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, you should pick up this little fucking anyway. Whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
probably
doing
should
tech support.
That has a wired connection.
That Mokose thing, it's $186, bro, and it's a CMOS sensor with a telephoto. The lens comes with it.
Yeah, I need something a little bit more form factor.
But
whatever.
And it's plug and play.
No one cares about that shit. Let's
USB plug and play. But anyway, so how long were you listening to the discourse over on the other stream?
Probably about 10, 15 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that.
And so, so I don't know if you heard then the whole thing. So let me explain what I think you might have missed. So today, you remember we did a impromptu show. We talked about, we want to be more limber when these big newsworthy events, and this one just hit real close to home for us because we cover Charlie Kirk all the time.
And not all the time, but yeah, we've covered him.
Well, I mean, he's constantly in our, he's in the rotation.
Yeah, he's in that sphere.
Yeah, we've covered him hundreds of times. We did that, we went live, and me and Scotty ended up kind of being live for a while. You came on, celebrate good times, playing, waving a skull around at the camera, right?
Yes.
And, whatever. I wouldn't have done that.
I was trying to, I was pretty much ready to go initially, but I knew you guys would come on with the tact you did.
Right. And
I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait till, the just what I felt was the right moment to come in.
Well, you picked a great one
and disrupt.
Yeah. And and I'm never the type of guy like I wouldn't have done that, but that's me.
But that's not your feelings though.
Sure. Yeah.
You're not gonna misrepresent the way you feel about something. I don't think.
Right.
No.
But later in the show, you said something that I found to be way more
right. The
unsavory.
Do you want to talk about that directly, or do you want to?
Well, we can say it directly here, I guess, because there's no uncorking the fucking. No putting the genie back in the bottle.
Yeah,
the video's up. You done said it.
I did. I basically said that if any shooters want to take me out, they'll know where I'd be because I'll be in.
No, you said any of us. We can go back and watch it.
I'm modified, but because you guys said we're not down with that, so I was like, okay, well, just me.
Duh, we're not down with that.
Yeah, right.
So here's the question, though, not to kill the levity.
Right.
So from my perspective, and I think from Scotty's perspective, it took a minute for what you said to sink in for me, really.
Right.
Because I'm used to you just saying the most inappropriate thing. That's kind of your MO.
Sure.
But then I started thinking, I was like, dude, our wives are going to be there.
Yeah.
Scotty's a father.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our fans, a couple of close personal friends of mine are coming to this.
Yeah.
And for TJ to just say, at a time in America when people are fucking nuts, hey, any loony with a gun wants to take out some leftists, we're going to be here at this date. Come on down, weirdo.
Well, in my mind, I was just promoting the event.
Well, in your mind, I understand that, but that was the most inappropriate way to promote an event that I could possibly think of.
You're probably right, but
and inappropriate to the level of, right? Like, it's fucking flippant with other people's lives. It's like, I was saying,
well, I mean, it's not like, I mean, if anyone wants to do that, I mean, they can do it.
Right. It's but like, dude,
okay. I mean, that's kind of my point about it, I think, is like,
no,
we're all in danger here.
Yeah, you get it, but like, it's different. I don't know how to explain it to you because your mind doesn't operate like fucking everybody else's.
No, I mean, I get it. I mean, it seems
like you don't invite, even though they could.
Feels like it's courting, disaster or whatever.
Right? Yeah. Feels like you're asking for somebody to come and not only shoot you, but like kill all of us, kill our family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just stupid to say at a time like this when people are grabbing guns and killing people in public.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
And, not for nothing. I don't know if you heard this part too, but, I left the show a little early. I wasn't lying. I did have some plans, but the plans were as soon as I was done doing things to make burgers. You know what I did?
What?
I went straight into my room and so it triggered a whole PTSD event in me.
Right.
Which I'm not holding you accountable for that because I'm accountable for my own mental health, but not for nothing, bro.
Well, it was very exhausting.
The thought process of
it was a very exhausting topic in the show.
Well, like I was running on fucking adrenaline. I
mean, you had watched a man be shot in the neck like a bunch of times in a row.
Right. And not to make a big deal of it, but I had a gun to my head for an hour and a half. That's my trigger is people getting shot like that. And so I was running on adrenaline when I started, and that's how I was kind of dealing with it, I think. And then once that adrenaline settled, and I think it really came to a screeching halt when you said what you said. And it made me start internalizing what was going on instead of just being like, because you heard me. I was like, hey, guys, a bunch of new people here. Please subscribe. I was in businessman mode and trying to process it through that.
Well, I was just trying to add on to that. I was just
I get it.
I mean, it was my way of like low key, promoting the event. But
I get well, it was pretty high. Maybe,
well, yeah, I guess it was. But anyway. I mean, I get that it maybe wasn't the best way to do it, but
right.
And it felt funny to me at the time.
Sure. Well, it's still funny to you, be honest.
I wish I would have probably not done it, but yeah, I mean, I still see some amusement in it.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, I could see that maybe it was like not the best way to go about things. There probably should have been some consideration, but to me, I was just like, ooh, this would be a clever kind of way to promote our upcoming meetup. To say, that you want to come politically assassinate us, this is where we'll be. But
I mean, I've known you for so long that I can't be super angry at you about it because this is how the TJ. I was trying to explain to people too. This is how the TJ mind works.
Sure.
Like you're very tangential and you're very quick to say whatever you want. Whatever, you don't really filter it. Like you don't take a second. Like sometimes you won't even wait for other people to stop talking before you blurt out what you want to say. You know what I mean?
True.
It's very TJ.
I've been trying to work on that. But yeah.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, it's a very TJ attribute. It's not something that I dislike about you. I've come to enjoy it about you.
Right. But, I mean, I get it. But, it's like a lot of times, when I have that instinct, it leads to something that's funny.
Yeah.
And in that instance, it led to something that was, maybe funny to me, but maybe not so funny.
I mean, in a vacuum, it was kind of funny. I mean, if it was somebody else's dumbass podcast host that had invited that on them, I'd probably fucking go like, whoa, buddy.
But,
but no. So yeah, dude, I had to excuse myself. I went and laid down, got under a blanket and just listened to like soothing history podcasts for about 3 hours. And I didn't, it fucked me up pretty good. I hadn't had like because like, dude, I've been in a lot of therapy. It's been a lot of years. I don't have events, is what they call it. You know what I mean? Very often, like maybe once or twice a year, and they're never really bad. This was a bad one, man.
Sorry about that.
No, it's cool. I'm not putting it on you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really had an issue with that, but I have other sorts of anxiety.
We have another thing I brought up, and I wanted to ask you about is it your coping mechanism when something that's like monumentous and violent happens to?
Well, This is one of the things I wanted to talk to you about because,
Okay.
I feel like there's this recurring motif in the things you say when it comes to my sort of appreciation of the chaos of this wild existence that we're all enduring, right?
Yeah.
Which is basically like, well, you like it until it comes to your door.
Yes.
And, I feel like that perspective is sort of tethered to this idea of me as like maybe this naive person who doesn't really understand what that's like. But I mean, if you really look at like the things in my life, I mean, I've had guns pointed at me
Sure.
3 times.
You've had
You know,
adversity.
I've been through hurricanes. I've been through 2 different house fires.
Sure.
I went through, being a spoiled rich kid to living in a fucking trailer with a meth addict,
Sure.
so I mean, it's not like I have no inkling of what it is to face
I
the
don't think it's
dark side of
naivete.
chaos.
For what it's worth, I don't think it's naivete.
Right. But I mean, I just feel like there's this idea that, well, you like the fire until it comes to your door. And I don't really feel like that's true. I feel like, I mean, obviously, if the fire comes to my door, I'm going to react to it. I'm going to have, I'm going to have experience, fear and anxiety about it and stuff. But at the same time, I don't stop loving the chaos just because it's come for me.
I just don't know that that's true though, because I understand you've been through adversity, but
Mhm.
since you've had this chaotic, well, I know you've had this chaotic
I
perspective
mean, this has
for
never
longer
been.
than the
Yeah, I
chaos
mean, before
wizard.
I started calling myself a chaos wizard, this has been
Yeah,
because
I know that.
you've made this argument to me long before I
I
even
have.
knew what chaos magic was.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to say it's that, it's more, I think, to be honest with you, my psychological read on you, it's your worship of the character of the Joker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really so much of a Joker fan anymore, but I mean, I still
Well,
have
I
a
think that was
nostalgia.
the formative thing that put you on to chaos. And not only that, TJ, but you're
I
not a
do like
fan.
I do like the clown archetype, whether it be the Joker or the killer clowns from outer space or Art the Clown or the the archetype of the jester or the fool, which is why when we were talking
Sure.
about the tarot merchandise, I was like immediately like make me the fool.
Sure. Yeah.
Which I mean that's kind of I think very it's sort of apropos in the context of this discussion because the fool is blithely wandering off the cliff's edge, which
Yeah.
I think is kind of like a little bit of like what happened with the transgressive humor that we're talking about here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, once again, like the reason I was talking about it tonight, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, is this a rift?" I was like, "No, dude, this is just TJ." Like this, it wasn't unexpected. It was just shocking. You
Sure.
know, unexpected and shocking are 2 different things for me, at least from my perspective. Like, cause I had, I've been around TJ. I've been around you enough that I know your humor as well as you know mine. You know how I get hung up on one thing and won't let it go. You know what's gonna tickle me pink.
You're the bloodhound, and I'm the I don't know what I am.
I don't know.
I'm the scavenger.
Mm. Yeah, the hyena.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I'm always on the lookout for something. You find something and you fucking chase it.
Yeah, I won't let it go. I'll run
That's
till I'm dead.
and I'm always like next thing, next thing, next thing.
Yeah.
So I don't
So that
necessarily if I find a little comedic vein, I don't necessarily probe it deep. I'm just kind of like
you want to blow the
take
top
this.
off of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you want to blow the lid off of it all right away, and then you're just kind of done once the load is blown.
right. But you're like, there's more here.
Yeah, well,
And
there's
usually
always
there
because
is.
there always is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost always. Yeah.
but you gotta have that instinct. You gotta like that. You know what I mean? And I do. I love my favorite thing a comedian does is when they hump a callback all set. You know what I mean? They
I
keep
like that
calling.
too, actually.
They keep humping the same callback like 15 times in an hour set. That's my favorite shit, bro. I'll laugh
What
harder every time it comes up.
what I really like is when the callback is to something that didn't even really seem that important the first time.
Yeah.
Like I like when it's a callback to something that was sort of like seemingly inconsequential the first time you heard it.
Yeah.
That's my favorite, but I don't really think I do that kind of humor.
And that's how my mind works too. Is like it's not always the big obvious joke that I get hung up on. Sometimes it's some little tangential thing that I'll mention, and I'm just living in that world, you know, some little obscure thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, ADHD versus TISM. Yeah. Dude, I think I might be tistic too, though. I don't like self-diagnosis, but I had a dude run down like a bunch of autism things. Like he said, like, you know, I got diagnosed and they asked me a bunch of shit I didn't expect. You know, I didn't think it had anything to do with it. And that intrigued me because I was like, I think, you know, in my mind, I think I'm pretty well versed on what, you know, it takes to find out if you're autistic or not. This dude starts asking me questions. The answer to every one of them was yes. He's like, are you a picky eater? And I was like, yeah, very. He's like, do you tend to eat the same things predictably? Yes, very. Do you have textural problems with food? Like where you can't eat certain foods because of the texture? I was like, oh my God, dude, yes. And it was just all this stuff, mostly the food stuff, but like I'd say like he asked me 15 questions and 10 of them the answer was yes. Yeah. And he was like, I don't know, dude. I'm not a doctor, but you're probably fucking autistic. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Oh no, you know?
I don't get autistic vibes from Paul. Well, you know, not every autism.
That's true. Autistics create like coping mechanisms and masking and stuff. Maybe I'm just masking.
Masking is a big thing.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, I've known a lot of autistic people, and they don't. I mean, there are definitely attributes that you kind of associate with it, but there's plenty of people I know that are autistic that don't necessarily display those attributes.
The ending of Cabin Fever. I was thinking maybe we should just do this on the main channel because I feel bad scalping all the donos and shit. But thank you guys for donating.
Well, it's like 4 in.the morning, so
I will not share these with TJ, by the way, or Scotty. I'm just letting you know they're all mine.
All $10.
All $10 so far. Well, let's be honest, all $6 and change so far.
Ask TJ if Kirk's death is like when they killed Archduke Ferdinand. I mean, that's way too early to say something like that.
Yeah, I mean, too soon, bro.
I will say, and I don't know if you want to talk about this assassination stuff anymore.
No, we can talk about it. I'm cool with it now. Like
I have a few things that are just really. I wrote a list. I was actually about to do a video myself.
Oh yeah.
When I came across yours, but I already did a video about it. I don't really feel like I want to do two, so I'll just bring this up here. You know, and these are just things that have bothered me since.
I was talking about a few things that stuck in my craw because I've been thinking about it. Yeah,
so
like go ahead.
There's like some things that are just kind of weirdly sus.
Yeah.
So the first thing that's kind of weirdly sus is the shooter made a precision shot, jugular shot.
Yeah, well, it's a kill. It's a guaranteed one shot, one kill.
It's a kill shot.
It's a trained shot.
And I mean, he made it from a 200-yard distance. Now, I don't know a whole lot about guns, but I did do some research about the distance of 200 yards. And basically, what was said is, you know, it's not an impossible shot. It's not an extremely difficult shot. It's a shot that would be difficult. It would basically be nearly impossible for an amateur. It would be reasonably difficult for an expert, and it would be relatively easy for a complete professional, like a government sniper type.
Right.
But it's a fairly difficult shot, especially in those conditions of being surrounded by a lot of people and, you know, chaos and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, then there's the fact that the shooter quickly disassembles their weapon. Now, I don't actually know that they disassembled their weapon, but I'm assuming because we didn't hear anything about a weapon still being there. Now, maybe that's
or they had some sort of cover for it, like a janitorial cart or something that they were able to push it off of campus. And
sure,
you know what I mean? Like
one way or the other. I mean, this was clearly just based on the fact that the shot was reasonably difficult and the shooter was able to secure their weapon and escape, makes it feel like, okay, this is obviously someone with a particular degree of training. This is not some rank ass amateur person who just went out and bought a rifle and decided to go shoot somebody.
Right.
Like this is a trained person.
Clearly, yeah, clearly.
So that's the first thing that jumps out at me. Either that or it's just a fucking amateur that's very lucky. But that's kind of hard to believe. The other thing that's really stuck in my craw a lot is that Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, put out a statement that the shooter was in custody.
That was crazy.
Immediately contradicted by a press conference.
Well, double contradicted, because the whole press conference, if you looked, it was all officials from Utah, including an FBI official from the Utah field office and the governor.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like boom, 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 boom. They all spoke, and then the governor spoke last and took questions. And the first question asked from the reporters that were there in the gallery was, Kash Patel just tweeted 10 minutes ago that you guys have somebody in custody. That seems to contradict what we just heard. Do you have somebody in custody? And it looked like he was reluctant to say it, but he was like, yes, we do have a person of, and everybody started grousing, right? And then we find out later they've let this guy go.
Yeah. So apparently this is either someone who they couldn't find enough to hold them, or this was someone who was just gaffled up that was totally unrelated to anything that was actually going on.
Yeah.
Or maybe something even more nefarious. Who knows?
Would this be the highest viewed assassination in history next to JFK? I don't know. I mean, I compared it to that. When I saw it this morning, it made me dizzy when I saw, especially the close-up. The distant one, I looked at it and I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good. The close-up one, I knew he was dead. That dark arterial blood that came out of him, I was like, there's no fucking way he lived. And like I said, my stepdad is staying with me right now. He's a trained he
took a look at it. Yeah.
He's a combat medic. He's a trained Army combat medic. He took a look at it. It looped 3 times, and he was like, he's dead.
Yeah.
You don't survive that.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was pretty much a long shot. I mean,
and he also said, before anybody was saying on the news, that's a sniper. He was not talking about it being a small caliber weapon at close range. He was like, that's a sniper. And literally, dude, if you know anything about hunting, hunters are very intent on one shot, one kill. Like they might not get a second shot.
Is something that hunters.
Well, this is where they aim. If you can get this shot, there are a couple of places that a hunter will aim. You can get a chest shot, but one of the places they aim that kills the quickest and most like surely, right behind the ear, right here.
Yeah.
And that's where Charlie was shot. He got shot right behind his ear at the base of his spine, and it came out over here. And so that he was dead before he hit the floor. You could see it. He was talking, his body spasms, and then he was dead before he hit the fucking floor.
He flopped.
He was gone.
So
somebody said, I'm convinced this was a professional. Thank you for the donations, by the way.
It's hard not to come to any conclusion other than that, honestly.
No. Yeah, I was shocked it wasn't blue blood that came out of him. It came out so fast.
Yeah. So the other 3 things that have been bothering me since then is one is Trump breaking the news himself. That one doesn't bother me insanely, but it was kind of strange.
It's interesting that he was the first person to break the news.
Yeah. I mean, other people had broken the news, but like it was clearly just people being speculative.
Yeah.
But Trump to come out and actually be the one to confirm the news was very strange. Okay. But that's probably the least strange thing. But the 2 things that have happened, these are 2 things that have happened since our broadcast. I don't know. Maybe this Trump video was out when our shit came out. I'm not sure, but we didn't take a look at it. But I don't know if have you seen this video of Trump commenting on the attack?
Yeah. I saw it. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are feeling like it looks to be AI.
Really?
And
Amelia was saying that. She said she looked at it and she was like, there's jump cuts.
Yeah, there's weird cuts, but more than that, there is just kind of like, if you look at his hands and some of the things about like the smoothness of the face and things like that, it just kind of feels like a little off.
I'll watch it again.
in
I'll
a way that
admit I
AI
watched it.
stuff kind
I
of sometimes does.
I watched it the first time in a bit of a haze and just presumed, okay, he's doing an Oval Office address. I didn't really watch it for that. I kind of listened and watched a little.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take another look at it. But Amelia, she's pretty keen on this type of shit, and she said there's a huge theory going around that that video of Trump that he did was fake, and she's like, I looked at it. She's like, it's got some jump cuts. They clearly edited it. But she said, I didn't see anything that made me think AI.
Yeah,
I just think,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% convinced it's AI.
'cause
But
what would be the point? Would it be just to
That's the-
hide that he
I don't
can't
know.
do it, or what?
I mean, I don't know. That's the thing that kind of bothers me about it is like there are some things that kind of look a little AI to me, but I don't know if that's just because the idea has been put into my head and you can't trust anything anymore.
Yeah.
But it does kind of look AI to me.
I mean, I'll take a look at the shit. I mean, maybe I'll even pull it up now and we can take a quick look. I mean, I really am loath to like make this a video show like ours. I just kind of want to talk. So never
Yeah,
mind.
that's fine. We can look at it tomorrow.
We can
or
go
something.
look at it. Yeah, we'll look at it tomorrow if anything. It's kind of funny. Like I was thinking about it and I was like, we're definitely gonna talk 9/11 tomorrow, but we're probably gonna talk more Charlie Kirk than 9/11 tomorrow.
Well, I think we'll talk more Charlie Kirk in the public portion and then probably more into 9/11 in the private because like
Maybe.
I know
I don't
Scotty's
even
pulled
know.
a lot of 9/11 stuff. So
I gotta
hate
be
you
honest with
bringing
you,
that up,
man. This shit that happened today feels way more vibrant and relevant than 9/11. I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah,
like
sure.
it almost feels like it's gonna pull more viewers if we just do a big fucking like Charlie Kirk, like let's go over TJ's concerns.
Here's the thing too, is just
I
like,
haven't talked to you guys about this. I don't mean to do it in public, but I was gonna make the suggestion that we do a last minute oop de oop because like we can mention 9/11 or whatever, but I don't think that's going to draw anywhere near as many people to our live streams and shit as this.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't know, but I think it's kind of depend too on like what, if anything, has transpired overnight by the time our next show. Because I mean, if nothing's really developed, I don't know.
Well, bro, I've been when something like this happens, I try and tell myself, chill the fuck out, Paul. But I've been looking at it autistically. I've been watching.
Oh, me too. I can't. I'm like a moth to a flame.
And so it's like I don't think anything's coming out, bro. And that's another thing. You didn't. Well, did you finish your list?
Here I have one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Which is basically just the fact that during that press conference we heard, them say that they had CCTV footage of the shooter,
but we've gotten none of it.
There's a manhunt on for the shooter. And in every other instance where there's been a major manhunt on for somebody and there exists CCTV footage, they share it with the public. And the fact that that has not been shared with the public at this juncture, when there is apparently an intensive manhunt on, seems
suspect.
Very odd.
Yeah. I don't think they have it.
Yeah, either they don't have it or there's some reason why they don't want to release it.
Well, here's what I think, because I don't know. Have you seen the video where they say that they see somebody standing up and running across a rooftop?
Yeah, I've seen a few.
It's a video. Well, there's one where I'm not gonna deny it's a person on the rooftop, and it's shot from like what looks like the box seats that are up above where Charlie is, and somebody's shooting video there as people are running around. The people in the box don't feel as threatened. They don't even know a gunshot went off. Can't hear it,
Yeah.
And in that footage, if you slow it down and zoom in, you can see somebody on the fucking rooftop across from where Charlie was speaking, stand up and run across the roof. Now, the problem is you can tell it's a human being, but that's it. It's a black blur that you can tell is something standing up and running. It's basically the same quality as a Bigfoot video.
Yeah.
So and it's actually worse because there's literally no detail on the figure. It's just black. Right.
Yeah. So
dark black, not like black person black.
I mean, maybe they don't have anything better than that. I mean,
well, that's what I'm thinking is like that might explain like what they were saying when they say they have him on CCTV. But
they said it was bad. The footage was not good, but I'm still kind of surprised that we have not seen what they have.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't run it through some, enhance shit because they have that, not as good as on CSI, but like I'm surprised they ain't done that,
Yeah, and we have, we live in, like Scotty was saying earlier today, we live in such a surveillance state at this point. It's kind of hard to believe that there's no good camera footage out there of this suspect
Yep.
but
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's yeah, I gotta tell you, man, it's fucking. I I've said it a billion times, but it really is the most significant political assassination when it comes to footage and setting in our lifetimes. There have been political assassinations and assassination attempts here in the United States. I'm talking in the United States. There have been some crazy ones worldwide, but here in the U.S., this is the most significant political assassination of our lifetimes, bar none.
well, the thing that's crazy about it, to me, and I agree with everything you just said, by the way,
Yeah.
is it's the first assassination I can think of since Kennedy that was done in such a public venue.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think. I guess Reagan was shot in front of a small crowd, but he didn't die. Can you think of anybody else that was publicly assassinated in front of a large
Gabby was it Gabby Giffords? She wasn't killed, but she was gangly shot in front of a crowd of people.
That's true.
But
I don't remember
there was no video.
Yeah.
She was at some little local rally thing and nobody was filming. It was kind of the pre everybody's got a cell phone camera age when that happened. That was during Gabby Giffords happened just before the Palin cycle.
Yes, because
that was before
Sarah Palin was kind of de facto because she put
target
graphic with little crosshairs and targets on people, and one of them was Gabby Gifford.
Right.
And so
so there's that. There was another assassination that happened, I think, of a male senator. He was at a ball game. Do you remember this?
That was Steve Scalise.
Yeah,
he wasn't
assassinated.
He was playing softball, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he was shot by some sort of disgruntled Bernie Sanders supporter, but he also did not die.
Right.
And there was I don't remember.
And then there's Trump. We talked about it when it happened. Do you remember? We covered obviously Trump, the assassination attempt on Trump, and we said he just won the election. Yeah. Like the power of that image in that moment, he won the election with it. We were correct, right? Dude, think about the power of this Charlie Kirk image. Like I said, dude, it's the Zapruder film, but in 4K.
2 months ago, 2 minutes ago, lawmakers were killed. Yeah, but were they shot in front of a crowd? I don't remember.
I haven't seen any video of it. See, this was done. See, this is the thing that makes me think pro too. And I'm, me, I'm a conspiratorial mind anyway. But you're gonna hear this shit from me, dude. This was like a sacrifice. Okay, this was done. Not just to kill Charlie Kirk, but to send a message in front of people in such a way that he knew there was no way this wouldn't go far and wide. By the way, I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you do. I haven't watched most of them, but there are like now 8 angles on his death, apparently, and they're all just one worse than the last. So I feel like whoever did this was smarter than a yokel. Because when Cash Patel announced, like, we got this guy, I was like, okay, it's some local yokel fucking idiot that took a shot and got caught. But he got away clean. And then now that we've had time to analyze the shot, it was such a clean hunter's kill shot. And that's the kind of thing that makes me think more than anything that we're dealing with a professional here. A professional hit, even, maybe. Like,
yeah, and I mean, the crazy thing is, if indeed the police don't have any sort of decent CCTV footage and there's no physical evidence that's been left behind and there's no witnesses that we know of that saw,
and this is a pro, there's a chance this person never gets caught. Or I was telling Amelia this because she was like, what if they don't catch this guy? I was like, they'll scapegoat somebody. I was like, they'll announce they caught somebody and there'll be somebody fucking strung up for it, but there's no way. Yeah, they'll find some crazy fuck, they'll pin it on him, and it'll be that, because this can't go unsolved. This would be like the murder of Abraham Lincoln or something, but nobody knows who done it.
Yeah,
this would be like the Kennedy assassination all over again, right? Where everybody, like, there's controversy still about who done it. And that's another one, by the way, high profile public assassination with shots that belie professionalism. Shots at a moving target from triple, by the way, the distance that Charlie Kirk was assassinated at, if we believe the cops that it was 200 meters, 600 meters or more.
That was yards, but yeah.
Sorry, yards. Yeah.
At
600
least
yards or more.
At least in the Kirk case. I don't know about
It was 200 yards and it was 600 yards in the in that case, if I'm not mistaken. It was a magnitude more distance in the the JFK case. And so like there's going to be like, if they don't catch this guy in the next 5 days, they're not going to catch him. He's gone. You know what I mean? That's why Luigi Mangione being caught was so suspect, because like I made a joke earlier, TJ, that like if they catch him tomorrow and they find him in a McDonald's because a worker gave a tip and he's a hot Italian guy, I'm calling bullshit, bro. A hot Italian guy named Mario.
Yeah, it should be Mario.
And he's found in a Burger King having a Whopper, and a Burger King employee calls in the anonymous tip.
So actually, the Kennedy assassination was considerably closer.
Oh, really?
The Kennedy was shot from about 60 to 90 yards, according to the official story. So
okay,
so it was
that's wild. Then so this that gives you,
yeah. But Kennedy was he was more of a moving target.
Yeah, he was a moving target, so that makes
a more difficult shot for sure.
But still, like, it shows you that this 200 distance ain't no fuck around distance.
No, I mean, like I said, I did a little research into it, and basically my takeaway was, you know, for an amateur, it would be an almost impossible shot. For an expert, it would be a reasonably difficult shot. It'd be one that you'd have a good chance of missing. And for a professional, it'd be, I don't want to say easy, but they'd be able to do it without much of a challenge.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking about like a top echelon sniper, which I don't know that this person necessarily was, but there might have been I mean, this is a person who at least knows what they're fucking doing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily say military. It could potentially be someone who's just a hunter, but the fact of the quick escape makes me feel like there's
the quick and clean
military training. Yeah.
And here's what it belies. You know, college campuses, there's probably 200 fucking cameras conservatively on that campus.
Yeah, and the fact
that this dude managed to stay off every one of those cameras, it belies somebody that had like scouted it out and knew the system and knew how to circumvent it and knew where he needed to go to get up on the fucking roof without anybody taking notice. Because I'm telling you, dude, if this guy did this normally and walked through the building, there are cameras on every floor of that building. They're going to be looking for somebody suspicious heading to the roof.
Any seasoned hunter could have made the shot. I agree with you that a seasoned enough hunter. I mean, because hunters will make shots at that distance, but
yeah,
I don't know that a hunter would have been able to
sneak in and out.
Yeah, like sneak in and out so stealthily.
But you're right. Like that, I said at the beginning of this, from what I know, and from talking to my stepdad, who knows way more, this guy was either military, ex-military, or a really accomplished hunter, like somebody that's got hundreds and hundreds of buck kills, moose kills, somebody that has just pulled that trigger, held their breath and just zoned in and made kill shot after kill shot after kill shot, way more than your average, game hunter guy that does it every once in a while,
And I mean, this is a person who also is making this shot on a human being, which is
a considerably smaller target at that range.
Well, not only that, but if you're not experienced with that, that's maybe gonna cause a little jitters and stuff. But
every hunter,
you do an ice cold sociopath too. You never know.
Yeah, every hunter knows anatomy. They know that that base of the neck is a kill shot on a deer. It's a kill shot on a human. It's a kill shot on an elephant. You sever the spinal cord and blow out the carotid artery, it's over. It doesn't matter what kind of mammal you're dealing with, or animal really, that you could ever fucking try and kill with a gun. And so like hunters know that. So it's not unlikely that a hunter would know you will really want to kill somebody, you blow the back of their fucking spine out.
Yeah, I'm not so
And
much talking about knowledge. It's just like, I feel like there is for most people a big difference between killing an animal and killing another person.
true, and we're missing something here that we should say. It could be both. This could be an accomplished hunter who is ex-military sniper trained.
Sure. And then, like I said, I don't want to. I see some people say that shot's easy. That shot, I mean,
It is
it's
not.
not an easy shot. Let's not overstate. But it's not it's not a shot that's so extraordinarily difficult that we have to jump to the conclusion of some sort of expert sniper. But it is not an easy peasy whatever shot. I mean, to hit something at that distance, but to get a precision shot, right, a perfect kill shot, one and done. We're not talking about some guy that was firing wantonly in the crowd. We're talking about a guy that fucking lined up his shot, took it, landed it, first fucking go.
One shot, one kill.
Yeah.
200 yards, 2,000 people, security all over the place, gets away clean. I don't think any of you nerds in the chat could pull off one step of that 4-step plan.
It's not easy, but you're gonna be Agent 47. No, you don't have to be Agent 47.
I don't think one of you nerds in the chat would have made it up on top of the roof with the weapon, let alone got the shot off and got away clean. You dumb fat fucks.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is like you gotta fucking get up there. You gotta get back down. You gotta avoid every fucking camera. You gotta avoid being seen by anybody who could fucking describe you. I mean, it's a lot.
Dude, if they knew what this guy looked like, if there were eyewitnesses that got eyes on this guy, there would be fucking drawings and fucking, you know what I mean? The artist representations and the CGI drawings and all of that shit. There'd be this dude's face would be far and wide if he got caught on a single camera. Somehow in a place where there was probably conservatively 2,000 people there. You can assume every one of them had a camera. Most of them were filming the event. So 2,000 cameras right there, another 200 cameras on the campus, all aimed at every goddamn hallway and access way and fucking, you know what I mean? This guy didn't get caught on any of them.
Yeah. How did you see that door shot? Well, I mean, that's the thing is like, compare that guy to this guy, I mean, we're talking about a guy that, fired multiple shots, didn't hit his target. I mean, maybe grazed his ear. I mean, it's a totally different fucking scenario there.
He didn't just plan his extraction point. He
got taken out.
So. Yeah, he knew. He didn't just plan though. Cody, I agree with you, Cody. But yeah, he didn't plan that. He planned his route in. He knew where to go to stay off CCTV. He knew where he could take the shot without immediately having people whip around. He knew the distance he needed to have that shot at to make the amphitheater scared, but not know exactly where it came from, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This all implies, at least to my untrained eye and mind, that this is a person that cased this out, that was planning this for a while, that knew where Charlie was going to be seated. So he knew what the cover was going to be like and where he needed to be. And he knew exactly how to get away clean. That without being on camera, that's fucking wild in this day and age.
I agree with you, sir. The results speak for themselves. Most assassinations are botched. This was successful in a public, crowded place and disappeared in broad daylight. Now,
that's what I'm saying. A lot of these
grammar was a little atrocious, and your spelling was not the greatest. But I totally agree with what you said.
Yeah, and that just shows you these Call of Duty nerds in here that routinely make headshots from over 600 yards in Call of Duty. They don't know shit about what they're talking about. It's a high-profile national political assassination on a modern college campus, and the guy got away clean. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, this dude, I don't know. I don't even know what to think about it. I mean, I've a lot of theories in my head. I mean, this could be disgruntled political person from either side of the aisle. This could be disgruntled person that has some weird wacky motive that we can't even begin to fucking fathom because they're just nuts.
I don't mean to quote Lennon, but you look for the one who benefits.
Yeah, I mean sometimes, but then there's I mean sometimes a person's idea of benefits is so strange and alien to us that, like, There's could it be Trump? Could it be? I mean, I've heard people toss around Mossad, but every fucking thing is blamed on Mossad. So, this could be like a false flag Reichstag
Why
kind of
Mossad? Well,
thing.
see, Mossad doesn't make no sense because Charlie Kirk was an Israeli simp.
Yeah, but they're saying, they're saying like, well, he fucking maybe he pissed them off, and then there was all this weird shit about the Jews have these dark rituals where they sacrifice their own pawns. And
Well, whatever. It wasn't that. We know it wasn't that. So let's set aside Mossad.
I know. They
who I
fucking
think
bad thing that happens, they fucking got some Mossad angle on.
So let me ask you a question. If you had to, with your mind, and you're, obviously nobody's an expert here. You had to nail the person on this planet that benefits the most from Charlie Kirk's death. Who would that be?
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Easily. Not even a difficult question.
Because it's like right now, what's the big news story before Charlie Kirk? Epstein. Well, I mean, not only that, it's
even setting that aside.
Right.
I mean, even if that was not even happening right now, Trump would still be the answer to that question. So
true. I mean, this just solidifies, like, it couldn't have happened at a worse time. He's doing all this really controversial infusions of military into the cities because he claims crime is rampant out of control. Now an arch conservative ally of his gets blown away in broad daylight in front of 2,000 fucking people from 18 different angles. Now he gets to justify this military crackdown, right?
Yeah, and more.
It starts to feel like a burning of the Reichstag moment.
There's going to be some kind of, I saw someone on Twitter today and they were, I think, being facetious, but I don't think they're actually far from the truth. They're like, there's going to be some shit like called like Charlie's Law.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, bans being a Democrat or something, and
there's going to be some wild shit off of this.
Yeah, but this is not just going to be like, there's definitely going to be far-reaching repercussions.
Right.
This is not just going to be like, oh, this happened, and then 2 weeks later.
Can you think of a single leftist who benefits from Charlie Kirk being assassinated? Like political leftist that would have been interested in like taking out a hit?
I would say the danger level for being any fucking leftist in general has now, gone up considerably.
Yeah.
Like, I saw them today on some Twitter thread fucking threatening Kyle Kalinske, who his response to me was like tepid shit, but they were like, we're gonna get you, Kyle, you're fucking dead meat, you're next, bitch. And I'm just like, man,
yeah, it's spooky, bro.
So there's no, like left, unless you have a death wish as a leftist, I don't think that there's any benefit there.
Dude, did you see the MAGAs had their flags at half-mast also as a father after he said he'd force his 10-year-old to give birth? If R-worded, that push some buttons, I assume is what you were trying to say, but you ran out of room. Yeah, dude, I'm not saying Charlie Kirk was a great guy. Nobody's here trying to fucking like whitewash his existence. Actually, that's not true. A lot of people on the left are doing this real demure, like Charlie Kirk was a father and a husband, and you know what? He was a good debater and a friend and blah, blah, blah. I don't like, we ain't doing that. Charlie Kirk was a scumfuck, but this is not good from any angle. If you're on the left, right? This ain't good. If you're on the right, this ain't good. Like, this is just not good from any angle, from any perspective, other than, TJ's dark humor shit that he was pulling. But I think that's a coping mechanism as much as anything else is.
I mean, maybe it is. But the person who actually benefits in a material way, as far as I can tell,
right,
is still Donald Trump and the Trump administration. So,
well, I mean, I'm sure
that's why
I'm sure Charlie's wife is going to probably make out pretty good on this, but
it depends on how she actually felt about him. But
no, I just mean monetarily speaking.
Yeah, monetarily, sure. I mean, that would be nuts.
She took out the hit. Dude, did you see the video of the dude standing right behind Charlie, the weird guy in white hat and glasses, and he's like doing baseball signals and stuff?
Yeah.
Like pinching his ear, and like that's baseball. Like he might have been security.
Yeah, it might have been a security. I mean, it's also, he could just be a fidgety fucking guy, too.
I don't know, man.
Those was a little weird looking.
If you watch baseball symbols, those two things happening back to back and going back and forth of them are such a recognizable thing. So, I don't know. He wasn't touching his face. He took the brim of his hat and doffed his hat a couple of times, and then squeezed his earlobe, and then went back to his hat.
It was
Like
weird.
that's
looked weird.
baseball
Here.
symbols and shit. Yeah, I mean maybe
Well,
TJ could find it.
we don't need to. We'll do it.
Yeah. I kind of want to do.
We don't want to do. We don't want to do video here on this.
Yeah.
We don't want to turn this into onion nuggets.
Well, not only that, but I kind of want to. I want to play with a concept of having a more interview based, low key. We're not going to autistically go over the details. We're just going to talk like two human beings type of thing on ideology.
Sure, yeah.
But anyway, like what I said earlier too, to bring it back to you, is like, what is your coping mechanism when something big and scary and like uncertain happens in the world?
I don't know. I mean,
Didn't mean to put you on the spot. Everybody has one. I mean, you can't claim you don't have one. You just might not be aware of it. A lot of people aren't.
I feel like my coping mechanism is basically the idea that that this is basically all just a ride.
I was saying that maybe before you came in, like you're a Carlinite. I've always called you that. Like one of the first things you ever said to me in passing back and forth, before we'd ever even met, was that you subscribe to that worldview that you have a ticket to the freak show.
Yeah.
It's an admit one, and you may as well fucking take a looky-loo at every little corner and every little exhibit because, you know, it expires at some point.
Yeah, and there's no staying if you want to stay. You know, I mean, it's not like you can opt out of death. So,
but I think that, you know, to bring it back, that's where I'm coming from when I say like TJ's loves chaos till it comes to his house, because I think like you wouldn't be able to think of it like George Carlin if it was that the fire was next door and coming for you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
you wouldn't be able to have a ticket to the freak show right then, and it would take away that coping mechanism.
Sometimes you're in the front row, and sometimes you're on the stage. I mean, what are you gonna do?
And you have been in the front row. You've been through hurricanes, like you said. You've been assaulted. You've a gun points at you. All this shit, crazy stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But you're not thinking, "Whoa, shit! The freak show just got weird" when that shit happens, right?
I mean, you know, honestly, like when the craziest shit in my life happens, I notice that there's sort of a numbness that comes over me. Like, okay,
yeah. Well, you disassociate a little.
Yeah, I mean, there's just like there's a big dissociation there.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I'm now front row in my own head rather than being in it. I'm just kind of like I'm back here now watching.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, that's that's how I knew today, because I when I took a little break from the show and I went upstairs to smoke, and Amelia, of course, she's coming to check on me. She sat out there and she said a whole paragraph to me, and I just stared off into the distance because I was not present. You know what I mean? I was all the way in the back of my head.
That happens to me all the fucking time.
So that's probably
there doesn't even
the
have
answer.
anything going on for me.
No. Me either. Like I do it constantly as well, but it is a psychological phenomenon. Like I do it when I meditate, right? Disassociation is part of meditation for me. Mm-hmm. And so it's not necessarily always a bad thing, but it is a coping mechanism. Like when my brain has had too much, I disassociate.
Well, unfortunately, our modern lingo kind of it makes coping a bad thing, but like coping is a very necessary thing. Like you should have coping mechanisms for sure.
Yeah, no, everybody has. Not only should you have, everybody does have.
No one's gonna fucking just like ride the lightning, baby. You know?
No, not a chance. Everybody's got them. Everybody has things that they have to do to cope with things. And like, I was just wondering if you knew what yours were.
Yeah, I think that some are philosophical and some are just like physiological responses, like what I just mentioned about the dissociations and stuff.
Yeah. And so I never thought you were naive. I always just thought, well, this is how TJ deals with this. Like instead, because me and Scotty, we were kind of somber coming in.
But there is definitely there's a part of me that for sure genuinely feels a sort of like oneness with what I perceive as the degradation of society. When I see something happen that signals to me that things are degrading even further, there is a part of me that's like, ooh, And I don't know if that's because I'm necessarily rooting for like the destruction or whatever the fuck.
Collapse.
I mean, the thing is, I think that society is a lot more resilient than people give it credit for, and I really don't think we're as close to collapse as some do.
Well,
But
like from the historical perspective, it seems like we're pretty fucking close. I mean, we're right in that zone where historically large societies like ours, empires have started to crumble from within,
yeah,
and
but
due
it
to the
often
same
takes a
reasons
very
too.
long time.
Well, due to the same reasons too. That is true. Sometimes that fall is precipitous, and sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it takes hundreds and thousands of years.
I mean, it can be very slow, but I don't know. I mean, America is a very strange country. I don't know if we play by the same rules as others, but maybe that's just hubris as an American.
Probably a little, but you might be right. I mean, we certainly don't play that by the same rules as the Roman Empire or any of the other things they want to point at. You know what I mean?
We definitely have a uniqueness to us.
Yeah.
There's a vibe in America that's, God, it's interesting to me. It fascinates me endlessly, this country. And you know what I mean? I've lived it my whole life, and it never stops being fascinating, which is very strange.
Yeah. Well, I just think the world is fascinating. We just hear more about the USA because we're here, but every time I just look into the world, I'm just like, holy fuck, that happened.
That's true, but there is a certain understandability, I think, that undercuts a lot of other nations. And maybe it's because there's more cultural homogeneity in some of these other places.
Sure.
Not all of them, obviously.
But there's a unique American perspective.
Yeah, and there is. I just feel like we're a bundle of contradictions in this country in a way that I don't know that other countries are, but I could be speaking from a very narrow perspective on that.
No, I think other countries can't be what we are. And I'm not saying that from a supremacist standpoint. I'm saying it just from a demographic standpoint. Like, we're too big, we're too large landmass wise, too multicultural to be compared to anything else.
And it just seems like we are at once rebellious and ultra conformist, and we're fucking everyone who claims to love order sows chaos, and everyone who like me who claims to love chaos is actually all about order.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
the people that claim to care about free speech are the first to want to limit it, and the people that claim to care about war are the first to be bloodthirsty about it.
It's almost like we as Americans are just wired backwards.
Well, I think it's by design. You know what I mean? I mean, if you watch, and I know you're not a big fan of documentaries, but you watch a little bit of Adam Curtis, The 21st Century of the Self, and he makes a pretty compelling argument that, like, the modern woes, psychologically speaking, maybe even structurally, are largely due to a plan that was implemented back in the 30s and 40s, and it's been hyper successful at making people less concerned with the reality of their lives and more concerned with buying things and how they look to other people.
Oh, I know that I'm trained in that way, because if I get like to a certain point in depression,
you
know, it's like, oh, I gotta figure out something to buy. I gotta consume something because that can make me feel better.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you're not alone in that. And have I told you the Liberty torches thing that that guy Edward Bernays did?
Yes, the cigarette thing.
Yeah, the cigarette thing to get women to smoke, because it was seen as like an inherently masculine thing to do.
Yeah, so he presented as liberation.
Right, women are thrown off the chains of liberation. It was right at the time when the sexual revolution was just starting. You know what I mean? It was the 50s, and it just like cracked the world open when he did that, because these companies realized we've been doing the wrong thing. We've been going like, smoke our cigarettes. They're longer lasting and full of flavor. You know what I mean? And cheaper too. And they were just like, they should have been going like, smoke cigarettes because bitches will suck your dick and dudes will want to fuck your pussy real hard. Yeah. You'll be the coolest dude in school. You smoke our cigarettes. Like, they were just doing it wrong. And Edward Bernays comes along and tells them, right? And the connective tissue of this is, you know, because a lot of people might go like, Paul's off on a tangent. I am, but like the connective tissue of this is it changed how people thought about themselves. So
Right,
it
it all
made
became
us
about
more
identity.
myopic and more inward and more selfish, right? And that's exactly what we're talking about, where there is no reality. We can't even agree on reality anymore, because
Right, and it's
if
become
reality ever impinges on your own personal reality, then you discard it.
do you think that became like one of the seeds of post-truth?
Well, I think it was the start here in America and worldwide of capitalistic post-truth. And the government was certainly interested in it, because it wasn't long before Edward Bernays was consulting with the government on political campaigns. And he was also responsible for, I'm trying to remember, Coolidge. Calvin Coolidge was one of the worst presidents optically ever. He was cold. He was seen as distant and effete and intellectual and not connected with the average person. And so Edward Bernays, and this was the first time it had ever been done, he was the first person to invite Hollywood actors to the White House to do a photo op with the president. And it worked. It made people soften their view on Calvin Coolidge. It humanized him, right? But he didn't use, the old ways where him playing with his dog. He wasn't good at that. They put Calvin Coolidge in the room with a bunch of people already related to. It was brilliant. But it changed the way people think. People look at themselves. That's the whole point, is like, how do you really fuck somebody up, TJ? You don't go to their house, break their knees. They're going to recover from that. You fuck up their soul, bro. You reach into their you reach into their mind and you twist it to your will, because that never stops. They never get out of that if they don't, take control. And the whole point is you remove that control.
Yeah, because once you give them a lens to look through, and it's like, look through this lens at all times, then,
It's Plato's cave.
right. And then they'll never see anything else, because they're never going to fucking look at anything not through that lens. It's like, hey, tell you what you need to do. Take that lens away. It's like, no, I can only see reality through this lens.
Yeah. It's wild.
We became hyper individualistic through this form of PR. We became
no. I disagree.
We became
Individualism
in some ways, but also hyper collectivist in a lot of ways too.
It's individualism cum collectivism. It's 1984. Everybody is so desperate to be unique that we all end up being the same.
Well, that's the thing I see. I look at these comment sections on YouTube videos and stuff, and I just see the same opinions echoed, and then this whole upvote system, and look at you, everyone agrees with this. Everyone agrees with this now. It's like, that's fucking drab.
Not only that, but it's just inherently manipulable.
So it's
not even worth paying attention to.
It's like, oh well, I'm gonna just pay some robot somewhere to fucking give this 10,000 fucking upvotes, and then look.
And people do routinely do
look
that.
How many people agree with this, and it's like, whoa, maybe I should agree with that too, because I see other people do, even though you're probably looking at fucking a bunch of botted fucking likes, but whatever.
Yeah. And so it goes, you know what I mean? On and on. And I think what we're seeing just to tie it back to Charlie Kirk and the news of the day, and 9/11 tomorrow, right? Or today, I guess now it's 9/11.
Yeah.
And a lot of post-truth there as well. And it's just like, this is the outcropping. We're seeing the front edge of this new paradigm where nothing is real. Even the things that are really happening aren't real, because the perception is they're not real. We're really starting to get deep into philosophical territory. We're starting to get into Jungian kind of shit. We're starting to get into futurism. I don't know, man. I feel like everything touches on it.
Well, it's just crazy to see so many people, in lieu of having any sort of identity of this shooter, just jumping to whatever conclusion, suits them best. And whoa, it's this and it's that, and it's this thing, and we need to do this, and we need to do that, and like acting like they have solutions for a problem they haven't even investigated enough to know anything about.
Yeah.
But they've already jumped to the conclusion. So who needs to investigate?
Yeah.
I know the truth at a gut level.
Well, I was telling Amelia, because she was like, man, what if it turns out to be a crazy leftist guy or whatever? And I was like, it won't, or no, that's not what she said. She said, what if it turns out to be like a crazy right winger? And I was like, it won't matter. He'll be left wing anyway. I was like, because Donald Trump released, apparently, I guess some people are saying, an AI video of himself saying this left wing violence must be stopped. Like he's already labeled it left-wing violence. There's been tons of insinuation from all the right-wing outlets that this was a left-winger even before there's zero information on this guy. And so like no matter what he is, he will be a left-winger. They won't believe it if they say he's a right-winger. They'll say it's fucking deep state. They'll say it's this, that, right? Because it's already
it's the same thing that happened with the Trump shooter. Because I mean, like the guy that tried to shoot Trump was like a registered Republican. There was nothing to indicate he was of the left,
right,
or associated with Democrats or whatever the fuck. And you know, nonetheless, that's been the narrative. It'll always be the narrative to those people.
Yeah.
So I mean, and you know, when they talk about it, they don't even talk about it as an individual shooter. They talk about it as if the collective mass of the left tried to kill Trump. You know,
well, of course, because
and they shot Charlie Kirk. I've seen so many of these tweets and you know, they killed Charlie Kirk. They did it. And it's like, you know, it wasn't a fucking they. It was one fucking dude, as far as we know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who knows? We don't know anything. That's kind of the point. It's like, but once again, Trump knows the power of getting there first, because he knows whoever's first is correct. We learned the hardest lesson of this in 2000 when George W. Bush basically snatched the election by having somebody related to him make sure that Fox News got there first and declared him the winner. And just that's how he won. People say it was in the subsequent Supreme Court case or the recount. Nope, he won as soon as Fox News said the president has been picked, because the rest of the goddamn news media went down like dominoes right past it. And once it's out of the bag, you can't tell people, oh, this guy's the president. Wait a minute. No. You know what I mean? And it's like, once you understand the power of that, the power of distraction, the power of turning both ends against the middle, and the power of obfuscation. Look over here, right? You understand that we're living in a fucking constructed reality, politically speaking, here in America. And so many people don't even know what's going on, right? They can't think anymore.
What's going on?
Well, yeah, but no, I'm just saying they can't even contextualize it at the personal level.
Yeah.
Like they can't even personally like process it, because they don't have any basis to do so. They don't know history. They can't read, you know? And so it's fucking scary out there, guys. I'm not even kidding.
Let me tell you something that really, maybe it's only tangentially related, but it really reminds me of what you're saying here a little bit. And if you have a deck of cards, there's 52 cards in a deck, right?
Yeah.
And you give those cards a shuffle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are, by all statistical probability, the first person to hold that deck of cards in that order in all of history.
Yeah.
Because there are just so many even though there's only 52 cards, there's so many different permutations and possibilities you can have with 52 cards that literally to statistically come up with that same deck again, you would have to shuffle the deck once a second for like something like 100 universes worth of time. It's fucking crazy.
It's insane, right?
And so I mean, and that's with 52 cards. And I'm thinking like that's 52 variables, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think about a system as complex as like society, where there's a lot more than 52 variables, and I'm just like, I start feeling like Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park with these people. It's like these people who think they're going to control reality in the world. It's like, you're never going to fucking do it.
No.
You think you have some measure of control because you figured out a few little buttons and stuff, but like,
yeah,
it's naivete on a grand scale.
Oh, yeah, it's beyond naivete.
I mean, I don't care.
Delusional.
I mean, probably even if you had some kind of crazy quantum computer. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there'd be something out there.
You have to go into magical theorizing to even get there.
Right. And I mean, it's just like, I know that there are forces among, you know, the elites and the powerful and the rich that have figured out techniques to manipulate people and stuff like that. And I know that they think that they have this iron grip of control. And I'm not even saying that the true opposition is going to come from the people or anything like that, because I don't necessarily have that much faith in the people as a concept.
Yeah.
But I just feel like something some little fucking variable that they haven't taken into account somewhere, maybe something that just seems completely inconsequential, is going to come back and bite them in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
But maybe that's my cope. I don't know.
Maybe so. It's interesting to me. You know, I've told you this before. One of the first things I think I did tell you when we met was I believe everything is psychology. I mean, we're all just interpreting the event that happened today. The event didn't really happen.
And I have a very I say everything is narrative, but I feel like it's almost the same thing. It's like splitting
it
hairs
is
almost at that point.
But you know, from my perspective, you know, just talking about you and what you're, I just know for a fact every human being has coping mechanisms.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, most people aren't aware of theirs or aren't aware that they are coping mechanisms, and I think you're probably right.
I won't claim to have an understanding of every coping mechanism that might exist within me.
I don't think anybody does, but I know what my main ones are. That's because I have really unhealthy ones that have caused damage to my life. You know, what I mean?
Well, yeah, I think I do too.
So, you know, I know my shit there, but yeah, no, I don't know. When something like this happens, I have a tendency to blow it out of proportion, and I think, but oftentimes, like more often than not, lately, I feel like I've been right when I do that.
There is there's a tendency, I think, outside of you to blow things out of proportion. I think the society tends to do that, or blow things under proportion, or whatever you would say for the opposite.
Yeah,
you know, and it's because, like, as we're sitting here talking about Charlie Kirk, I mean, you know, there's, you know, we're living in amidst the fucking wreckage of an environmental cataclysm, and you know, these other things are happening that are probably much more important on the on any sort of objective scale, but
on a universal scale, certainly.
But you know, I mean, going back to the idea that everything is psychology or everything is narrative, or however you want to put it, like, this is going to, I think, have ramifications. I saw someone tweet today, like, oh, in 2 weeks, no one will even care about this. I don't think that's true.
No.
They might not care, but this offers such a juicy, I mean, I feel like I've said in videos before, I don't know if you've seen the videos where I've said it, but like, I've said before that the currency in our day and age in this post-truth world is pretext. And
I haven't heard you say it, but I think that's true.
This just offers such a fucking juicy pretext for
all kinds of shit, crackdowns,
right? And it's not going away.
No, it's not going away. I was saying earlier on the you know, on the other stream I was doing, that like people are going to be talking, like, he just joined a small group of people that have undergone political assassination in this country, and he will be talked about for 100 years. Like, the Charlie Kirk would have been forgotten if he would have been allowed to just live a normal life, unless he ran for high office or some shit. But setting that aside, Charlie Kirk's career would have went, you know, up and down, and he would have died. And, you know, 100 years from now, they wouldn't have been really puzzling over Charlie Kirk. Now they're going to study him.
Yeah, because, like I said, the pretext offered is just too delicious for those in power.
Yep.
They're right. In 2 weeks, no one will care. I mean, I guess we'll see in 2 weeks how it all plays out. But I think that you're probably wrong, but you know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think.
Yeah, I don't know that I got much more to say about this shit. So
yeah, neither do I. I'm gonna go probably smoke a cigarette and head to bed so I can get some sleep before. You know.
Same. But yeah, let's talk to Scotty tomorrow and see what we want to do. See if we even want to bother with 9/11, because I don't think people, that is one that I don't think people care about anymore, unfortunately. Especially not in the light of current events. But we'll talk about it and see. But yeah, thanks for coming on, dude. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Have a good one.
Good night.
Bye.
And everybody else, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this little conversation. I've been thinking, like, I was going to tell you guys right when TJ came in, I've been thinking about possibly starting a little sideshow where I do interview stuff, and it's just one-on-ones, and I try and do this low-key, no media added conversation. If you enjoyed that, let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow on Onion Nuggets. Peace.